Everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I wanted to talk about these Pokemon trainer kits and how great they are for getting your young kids playing Pokemon. Back in the Sun and Moon era, which is the previous generation from the current Sword and Shield era, they made these two products, and it was two training kits like this. Now, this one is still boxed. It's actually slated to be given to one of my kids when they turn 4 soon. And this other one that you see opened here is one that I gave to my oldest kid when he turned 5 a little while back. And these were kind of made to go together. They were released at the same time. And what each of these kits contains is two 30 card decks, which, is about half the size of a normal Pokemon deck. And it, of course, has Ancestral Recall because how could you not give a little kid that? They gotta love it. And the way this works is it absolutely holds your hand through playing the game. So you literally open this up, and the first thing you see is this, and it says, don't shuffle the decks. Because the decks are packaged in order, and each of the two decks has a little guide in it, and within each of these guides, it says, hey, on your first turn, draw your card and play this, and move this guy to your bench, and move this guy up to attack, and all these things. And so it's relying on the cards in the deck being in a specific order. And then your opponent uses his book on his turn, and you play out the game the way that these books have it scripted to go with the cards being in order from the package. And so it really, when I say it holds your hand, it absolutely holds your hand. You're a little more than an observer in the first game you play with these. But it comes with everything you need. The two 30 card decks, a coin to flip, the damage counters, some condition tokens, and it has this play mat. This thing folds out huge, and it's kind of hard to use because it never lays flat. But a play mat that will show you where to put your prize cards, where to put your deck, and your bench, and everything else. And so this is really great for getting kids into playing Pokemon. But more generally, I think Pokemon is a better game for getting young kids into than, say, Magic. Pokemon is just so much more of a simple game. Like I said, I have my oldest kid is a little over 5, and he understands now this is how much energy it takes, and he deals this much damage, and when he takes this much damage, he gets knocked out, and he understands these things. Now, two things I did to simplify the game a little more until he gets a little older is I treat all energy as colorless. I don't worry about trying to enforce that you have all of the correct type of energy because, see, this deck has, what is this, Psychic and Lightning energy? Probably have those wrong, but I don't worry about enforcing the specific types of energy, and I don't worry about resistances and vulnerabilities yet because the kids are still just a little too young. And the one skill that I think your kids need that they may not at a young age like 5 is 2 and 3 digit arithmetic. And so when we first started doing this, my oldest kid could add and subtract single digit numbers, and now he's doing 2 and 3 digit numbers, and so he's able to do some of this math correctly. But that's really the one skill that you kind of can't gloss over with a house rule, and that they will need. But at 5.5 years old, he can play the game with me now, and he remembers the terms and what they mean. Things like drawing a card from your deck, placing a basic Pokemon on your bench, and I've kind of used the analogy that your basic Pokemon are like babies, and your stage 1 are like little kids, and your stage 2 are like big kids, and those are kind of terminology that your kids will probably understand. So these sets are really great. Like I said, they were made in the Sun and Moon era. I don't know why Pokemon did not create any of these that I could find for the current Sword and Shield era. But you can still get both of these on TCG Player for under $30 for both of them delivered to you. So they're still available. They're still really reasonably priced. And each one of the little mini decks, the 30 card decks, comes with a foiled card. And the idea is once you've learned how to play the game, you would take these two 30 card decks and you'd shuffle them together into one complete 60 card deck, and then you could play with that for a while. And so again, I got one of these for my middle kid, and I had already given one of these to my oldest kid, and so eventually they'll have two 60 card decks and they can play. And it's a really well put together product. I know very long ago WotC did a product like this at one time. It was four little 25 or 30 card pre-constructed decks around the era of 4th edition, and it came with the same kind of step-by-step guide of how to play with them. And they never tried it again, and I always kind of wondered why. Magic's a more complicated game than Pokemon. It's a little bit harder to pick up, but it's not crazy hard or anything, but just a little bit harder. But if you're looking to get your young kids, say 5 years old or older, into this, these are really great products. And like I said, they're still available. Now, last thing on this video, I have a question for you Pokemon folks who know way more about Pokemon than I do. Okay, so we have Basic, we have Stage 1, and we have Stage 2. And we can see that Trumbeak evolves from Pikipek, and Toucannon evolves from Trumbeak. But are they really evolving? Like, from the lore standpoint, I don't understand this. Does Trumbeak replace Pikipek, or does he evolve from the basic Pokemon? Because my kids were watching a Pokemon cartoon on Netflix the other day, and Pikachu and Raichu were together in the same scene, except Raichu evolves from Pikachu. Just from the lore standpoint, I'm not worried about the rules or anything, but the lore standpoint, how is that working? What is actually happening there? Help me understand that. I just don't know. So if you like this kind of content, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Once in a while, I do a little bit of Pokemon stuff. Not a lot. I suspect as my kids get older and I get into it more, I'll have some more Pokemon content. I adore Pokemon. I think it's a great game, and it's really wonderful for getting your young kids into gaming at the earliest possible age. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.